live, pre-recorded, from Studio 217 in Delta City, Michigan. This is the podcast Video Store Rewind. My name is Rich, and to my right is Zach.
Hello.
To his right is Maddie.
Hello.
And again, we are Video Store Rewind. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, iTunes, pretty much anywhere you want to find us.
In the world.
In the world. There's this thing called Google, and if you type in Video Store Rewind, we pretty much pop up.
We do
all
come
over
up.
the place.
We're like the first four choices.
Today, we are
Nice.
covering a movie released May 1st, 1987, Creepshow 2.
Yeah.
It was written by King and George Romero and directed by Michael Gornick, and it was a pick to the man in front of me by the name of Maddie.
Yes, I loved renting this movie when I was a kid, man. Loved it. And I don't think it. You know what? We'll get to that if it holds up or not.
Yeah, if it holds up or not. It's an anthology, which meaning it doesn't really have a solid plot device throughout the whole thing. It's
Right.
3 short stories that, all in all, each one of them are creepy.
One of them scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
We usually go through and we talk about what was released in 1987, but we've already done that with The Monster Squad. So we've been through the movies, we've been through the songs, we've been through the games, we've been through the toys. I will just say that the movie that we're talking about was, out of 280 movies released in 1987, was number 75.
Out of how many?
Out of 280, excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's not too bad for the,
It had a budget of $35 million, and it had a box office gross of $14 million.
Oh, no.
It did, like I said, 75 out of 280. Monster Squad, the one that we did previously, was number 124 out of 280, so it did better
beat
than
out
that.
Monster Squad.
Honorable mentions, from my point of view, would be The Gate at number 77.
Steven Dorff, man.
The Hidden at number 90.
Zach, have you seen The Gate?
No, but I've seen his e-cigarette commercial.
Okay, there you go.
The blue?
Yeah.
Teen Wolf 2, number 93.
Definitely made
And then Hellraiser, number 72. The thermometer, we've got 33% rotten and an audience of 40%. But we're going to get right into that. I just want to say a couple of things. Today we are going to have a little special segment with another podcast, the Dinner in Hell podcast.
Oh,
Matt, can you tell us
God.
what the Dinner in Hell podcast is?
Oh, the Dinner in Hell podcast explores the atrocious underbelly of history. It's a fantastic podcast with Brad the Impaler and Ron fucking Maiden.
Ron motherfucking Maiden. It's really cool.
Motherfucking
They
Maiden.
talk about all the
They're
things that you know
absolutely
about
great.
and all the things that you don't know about. You learn a lot from
It's
this
super
show.
informative.
Does he introduce himself as like, and I, Ron Maiden?
No,
yes.
well,
That'd be great.
oh, I'm sure that's what it's.
Ron Maiden. Like
I
iPod.
just listened to their elephant episode, and it was elephants used in executions. It was a badass episode.
I'd never known about leeching.
Dude,
Did you know about that, Zach?
That was
Lynching?
terrifying.
Liching. It's an ancient Chinese torture
Filleting.
/ execution
fillet
device.
you.
It's death by 1,000 cuts, where they would 1,000 little fillets all over your body.
Gross.
They start at your fingertips and move inward.
It only
That's
lasted.
awful.
It
is
only
awful.
lasted a couple 100,000 years. So it was like forever.
Many dynasties.
Like I said, guys, we're actually, you guys know we're going international, right? We
where we
Did
at?
you look up?
we've got United States as number 1, obviously. United Kingdom, Norway, Spain, and the Philippines just popped up this week.
Hey, thanks.
We're all over the country. Seattle, Washington, Tucson, Arizona. Tucson actually beat out Detroit, by the way.
That's
for
because
most listeners.
Tucson's the shit.
Madison,
Yeah.
Connecticut, Hackney, United Kingdom. We've got Caloocan City, Philippines, Madrid, Spain.
Madrid.
Nice.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, isn't it?
Madrid.
Madrid,
Oh,
yeah, you're right.
Madrid?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay. Someone's got to look at the stats, and someone's got to ridicule the person that reads them.
I'm happy to. Trust me.
Hasvik, Norway.
Hosvik.
Tuscaloosa.
Hasvik, Norway. Youngstown, Ohio. Quincy, Massachusetts.
Zach, you're like, and Duluth, Minnesota.
We also have the editor and head writer at horrorgeek.com, Kurt Oglesby. He reviewed personally to me and our messenger our Jacob's Ladder episode.
Oh,
And
very
thanks,
nice.
Kurt.
He just said that it was like...
Was he the one that commented on my Dewey Cox joke?
Yes.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
or the walk
He
hard
said
reference.
that we have really good chemistry, and we were very thorough with the film, and he really enjoyed it, and he actually listened to all of our episodes. So Thank you, Kurt Oglesby.
Appreciate it.
And HorrorGeekLife.com.
Are we all done masturbating to our show?
No, absolutely. Never will I ever stop doing that. Now, Matt, can you tell us a little bit about this film?
Do we have a sponsor?
We sure do.
We sure do. This week's podcast is brought to you by our friends at Farmer Jack, reminding all of our listeners that it's always savings time at Farmer Jack. And don't forget that for every purchase, you can earn double frequent flyer miles, redeemable for any Northwest Airlines flight in the United States, except for Alaska and Hawaii, the freak states.
Freaks.
Yep. No. No jokes. Just me. I'm just kidding.
You be quiet.
I think Zach needs to move to Alaska. Freak.
Yeah, okay.
Zach is out of Percocets today.
No.
Well, that'll be an
interesting
noise.
I just cut off both your mics.
No.
All you gotta do is push that button.
Really?
That
Matt,
red button.
Do you have a synopsis of the film? No?
Yeah, I do. It real quick.
Well,
it's a horror anthology.
Because
there's not really a synopsis.
you're gonna have to do 3 synopses. Yeah.
Here's the synopsis. It is a horror anthology. It has 3 movies that are all different and completely unrelated, and there is narrating sequences in between the movies. That's about it.
Okay. They're based on like 50s horror comics, right?
No, they're Stephen King short stories.
They're based on
they're
Stephen
inspired
King.
by like
yeah,
them, right?
but that's what they're going for. They're going for the old horror.
Well, The Raft is a Stephen King short story.
Yeah, but the whole Creep Show magazine thing is going for Creep magazine. There were a bunch of magazines throughout the 50s, 60s.
What they call like EC comics or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there were horror comics, and actually that's the reason that we have. If you ever looked at the comic books in the 80s and stuff, I don't even know if they're still on there, but there was a rating code from the Comic Authority on all comic books because these were found to be the parents would say these are devil worshipping comics and this and that, so they had to put ratings
people on
in the
Fort Street.
Oh, right so now? EC Comics was primarily Tales from the Crypt, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So this movie, it opens up a live action sequence. It's a downtown. We see an old school like paper delivery truck.
Oh, Laurel. Let's point out that Laurel Productions did this.
Okay.
And Laurel Productions, if you guys don't remember the font and the wording, Tales from the Dark Side.
Oh yeah.
And they also did the Stand, Pet Cemetery, and a million shows of the Bob Cummings show. Like,
I gotta meet this guy. Is that your uncle? Or
it's not my uncle, but they're like when you go and look up the Laurel page on IMDb, this is what it lists: The Stand, Pet Cemetery, Tales from the Dark Side, and then a fucking million Bob Cummings. Bob Cummings is probably a creepy motherfucker then, man. Did you notice that the paper delivery truck, it had a main plate? Yeah, I wrote that down. Main license plate.
Yep.
That's another nod.
It was a vanity plate, so he had to pay extra for that. It said creep.
Oh, that's right.
And then we see a live action version of the person that we know as the creep. And do you guys know?
Tom Savini.
Yes. Tom Savini not only did the makeup, but he actually plays the creep.
But he's not the voice though, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And so he's delivering the comic books to the shop, and Billy, this little kid, is on his bike behind him. He's way too excited to be talking to the creep about this.
He doesn't even talk. He just sits there and smiles.
If I ever met a guy
creepy.
like that in real life, I would not be smiling. I would be leaving.
He's like a horrible goblin creature.
He's scary.
Yeah.
He kind of looks a little bit like the bank tellers at Hogwarts Bank in Harry Potter.
Okay,
I
imagine
they look like fan. I don't know.
I imagine he would look.
They look kind of like goblin trolls.
If the Crypt Keeper had flesh on his body, I think that's what he'd look like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if he gained like 80 pounds.
And then we get a transition from live action into animation.
Awesome. I love it.
That's when Billy gets his issue of Creepshow, and we're shown the comic panels depicting Chief Woodenhead, the Raft, the Hitchhiker, which are all segments from the movie.
Oh, you forgot he did the cartoon magic fingers. He went like, God, I wish you could. Actually, you can
abracadabra.
Check our Facebook. Zach's gonna take a picture of me doing it.
All right.
He does the magic fingers, and then it turns in.
How good is the music during the?
I love it, but I think it's
so bad. I think
so bad.
It's so good.
I love it, but the thing is, it's like I think it's more 70s funk than it is 80s.
Yeah.
Because
I actually have the vinyl, and now I'm super tempted to put it on just to make Zach.
Oh, that's right. We have a vinyl in the studio. We have the Creep Show 2
I got a
soundtrack
player right here.
Yeah, I know. We should have. We should have back
It
little.
should be
A little
You play in the background for the entire podcast.
That'd be awesome.
A little mood
put it
music, if you will.
You can.
Sorry, that was my wife. She's texting me a laundry list of things I have to get after I get on recording. So then we get the animated
Is it
creepo.
laundry?
It's intros and it intros the upcoming segment, which is Chief Woodenhead, while he's feeding his creepy Komodo dragon.
Dad, that's what I wrote down.
See, look at that. Great minds think alike. We go outside. We're what state is this? Arizona.
It's got
Arizona. Yeah.
It's a dusty New Mexico.
Oh, yeah, I wrote a note. Doesn't the creep also not only the Hogwarts bank teller, but doesn't he look a little bit like the evil witch from Snow White? Tiny bit.
Yes, he does. Absolutely.
No, identical.
Zach, he does a lot. So we're live action. We're in like New Mexico or something, and we're outside of Spruce's
I feel confident
General
with
Store.
New Mexico.
It's a dusty old downtown, and it just looks desolate. And we see an old man touching up a wooden Indian outside of his shop. Then we've got the classic wife move. She comes out. What is she doing? She's nagging him.
She's criticizing everybody and everything.
Every fucking little thing.
I do like this part because what are they, 15, 20-minute episodes, these movies?
Yeah.
And
I feel like the raft was shorter, but I didn't clock them or check the time.
I really liked how they fit the story in with this one because it was a conversation between the old man and his wife, and they set up the entire history of the town.
All the exposition you needed was right there.
I thought that was great. Although it wasn't acted great, but it was written well.
And you know what? These are two like these two actors were like golden era Hollywood actors.
And she was hot back in the day. Did you look her up in the 40s?
Oh yeah.
Or whatever?
Well, when you Google her, that's what pops up.
She has resting bitch face like her entire life.
Oh yeah, she's just going in on him. He just doesn't want to quit, and she wants him to quit. She's saying that this was once a thriving town, and it's not anymore. And
they haven't had a sale in like a week or something, or 4 days.
And it's always, the town people are taking advantage of you. And we find out later that it's an Indian reservation. Well, maybe not where the town is, or where the store is, but Indian reservation are his main customers.
But he's giving them a bunch of shit on credit, right?
Yeah, a lot of shit on credit. Classic wife move. She wants him to retire and quit. Like I said, she explains that Dead River, which is the town they're in, is finally living up to its name. You're too old for. Oh, you're too old and good for these people. She tells him, and Ray is excited because his buddy pulls up. It's one of the tribes. I don't know if it's just an elder or the chief, but Benjamin White Moon,
the guy in the green car.
Yeah, with the drivers,
right?
With his fancy. She says like, "Oh, look, he's getting chauffeured around town
in a limousine." I'm like, that wasn't.
It's like this old shitty car. I just didn't understand. So Ray's excited to see him, and he explains that he is ashamed because of his tribe's debt to the store,
right?
Which, piques the interest of Martha, his wife, which my next note is Martha is a bitch. This is before she...
Kind of.
She's kind of a bitch.
I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't want him to lose all their money.
Exactly. Their nest egg.
Yeah, but she's kind of... I don't know. It's debatable. Benjamin White Moon then presents a sack of Indian treasures. It's lots of turquoise.
Yeah, a lot of turquoise jewelry.
The beads...
So he wants to give that as collateral for all the money that they owe him. But then I wrote, my note was, what are these worth to the storekeeper? They're all sentimental value for the Native American man, but
we actually get a monetary price tag on it.
It was like $10,000.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was 20,000.
I think it's 10.
But why? But like objectively 10,000, or was it just like worth a lot to the tribe and maybe not so much to them?
I think it was like, we can't pay you, so you get to take all of our sacred things. Like we're not worthy of them if we don't pay you back.
This is worth a lot of money in this bottle cap. Treasure it.
Couple pennies.
And if I don't give you the money back in 3 moons, you can keep it.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat deal.
He tries to give it back. It back.
Pretty cold-hearted there towards the Native Americans. Are we, Zach? Little hostility there, fucking John Smith?
Go stand on the side of 4th Street.
It doesn't seem worth it.
So he says, if I can't pay you back, keep my family heirlooms. And then he goes, no, Ben, I can't take this. Take it back. And
Martha's shocked.
And then he goes, no, you can't give him back. That's the most ultimate slap in the face
it's
ever.
Insulting.
So that's like, Zach, I'm going to give you this ham sandwich. You're like, no, I'm not really hungry. I'm like, dude, you're an asshole. You got to eat it.
Right.
Because I hate it.
Martha's shocked by the gesture.
Bologna and ketchup. I don't want it.
Now this is how I knew.
Well, if you give it back,
you're
I
know that this movie
it
lost
back one
all
way or
credibility at this point for me. Super fake movie, because Martha admits that she was wrong. The wife never admits she's wrong.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Here's the music.
So far fetched.
Can we?
Turn it
Yeah,
up.
turn up a little bit. This is the music that Zach hates. It's Stevie Wonder.
This shit is fucking funky,
Very
bro.
superstitious.
You know what? Someone needs to call old Greg because somebody stole Zach's funk.
I guess, yeah.
Funky politics.
How does Zach get his groove back?
I love that song.
Martha admits she was wrong, and Benjamin says goodbye to Woodenhead as he walks outside, and Woodenhead nods back, and it's very subtle, kind of.
The wooden head,
Yeah.
his eyebrows move up slightly,
Tiny bit.
but that's a real guy the whole time.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
moving
Yes.
the whole time.
And
And
you
he's probably
see-
sweating.
Oh,
Benjamin-
God, for
And they're in
sure.
Arizona.
A rubber suit in New Mexico.
Yeah, full latex.
Got those swamp
No
balls.
vents.
And Benjamin double takes, like, did I just see that? No.
I did, that's what my note is. What?
What the fuck? So then, at this point, we get it. There's enough explaining in these opening scenes that these are really good people and they have good hearts. We're talking about the Spruces.
Yep. Spruce Springsteen.
So they're
Spruce.
closing up the shop, and all of a sudden, 3 crooks with a shotgun
Zach like that one.
pop up in the store. Spruce Springsteen.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Is Spruce Springsteen just a big tree? A tree with a guitar going, hey, oh. Sorry, I was thinking
That's
of Ben
fun.
Stiller doing Bruce Springsteen.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
The fat guy's laughing.
I hate fat stuff.
Fat fuck in his laugh is super annoying.
He's nasty. It's the stereotypical fat guy. He's got
can't-
food all over his mouth. He's sweaty. and
He's chugging Diet Pepsis and shit.
He's just eating everything in the store.
We
The other
find
guy's
out-
just like ruining things. He's just like knocking shit over.
Yeah.
for
Oh,
no
rich
reason.
boy
Yeah.
yeah.
or rich kid.
We find out the leader of the group is Sam. It's Ben's nephew, so it's Sam White Moon. Is that what I've been saying? White
Yeah.
Moon, yeah.
Or Sam whitewashed.
Yes, yes, super white.
Played by Holt McCallany.
Look that name up, guys, and you're gonna be like, oh,
Yeah, he
And
was.
then
He
you
was
could
one of
see
the
the
un- he was
spray
one of the
tan on the
unnamed
guy.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the
Anyway.
unnamed guys in Fight Club.
He had like 70s Cher hair.
So
He did.
rape
Right? What?
Ray pisses him off pretty good. He's walking around stroking his hair, and he wants to use the photo
This
machine. He calls it the photo machine. It's a photo booth, which really annoyed me for some reason. And he's
photo machine.
admiring his reflection, just stroking his long black hair.
Stroking
This
his
hair
ego,
is gonna
too.
get me paid and laid.
Oh my
Ugh,
god, he is
gross.
all about it. He's like, he thinks he looks like a movie star, and he's obsessed with his hair.
Oh, before I knew it was Holt McCallany, I wrote down, is this the younger kid from Prison Break? It looks just like him.
So he's stroking his hair, getting a big old boner from his locks, and he snatches up Martha.
Yeah.
And explains that they're taking Rich Boy's Firebird to Florida. He demands
Hollywood.
yeah, or did I say Florida?
You did say
I
Florida.
wrote down California. I don't know
You're
why.
so ghetto, Richie.
So he then demands the Indian treasures in return for Martha. He tells Ray that it's worth $10,000, which would explain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
I
thought you were gearing up for something, Zach.
No, not really.
It's funny that this is on right now as we're talking
Yes.
about the movie.
Yeah, we
So
should just play this for every podcast.
there-
I don't. Can you hear it at all in the background?
maybe it's
No,
good.
not
We're
really,
not going to be
no.
able to hear any of us.
That's
Just
okay.
fucking harmonicas playing.
okay with it.
There's a struggle as he's about to turn over the Indian treasure, and Sam accidentally shoots struggling Martha.
And I mean,
Oh, was that an accident?
kablow? Yeah,
Oh,
that
it
was
was an accident. If you watch it, it was an accident. But then,
I kinda thought he
as
did it on
Ray
purpose.
starts walking towards, he just fucking blows Ray's ass.
He's like, I
away.
might as well.
Yeah.
I mean, no witnesses, man.
He shoots 3 raspberries at his stomach. It looks like it's like
They show fat stuff, and fat stuff. He's like shocked.
He pukes.
He
He throws
pukes.
up.
But Sam doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's done it before. So
right. Well, at first Sam is shocked, and then he's like,
yeah, but then he's like, I
"Hey,
don't
what's
give a
done
shit.
is done, fat stuff."
So then they walk outside. Sam shoots up the outside of the store, and even the wooden Indian. And then they show Woodenhead scowl as they drive
Yeah,
away.
he closes his eyes. He's
Yes.
like, motherfucker.
He's like, I'm going to have to fucking scalp me some motherfuckers today.
Let's have a video store rewind and just reiterate, this is a wooden fucking statue.
Yes, it's
Right.
a wooden statue that's been outside of the store for 30 plus years. That's when we get the scene where Woodenhead comes to life and he dips his finger into the paint that Ray was
so
using.
Awesome.
That was kind of a cool part.
And,
I like that.
and he
cool.
finishes his war
But then he
paint.
ruined it right after by going. He like howls
Thank
or
you.
something. I'm like,
why did he howl?
That's,
I don't
dude,
know.
that's his war cry.
war howl.
I didn't like the howl.
Battle
didn't
cry.
like the
I'm
howl
sorry.
either.
Battle cry.
I didn't like.
It's like, ah!
So they're in the car. Sam's like, we leave tonight at 11. Woodenhead finishes paint.
Rich boy, go get your car. Fat stuff, go get your food. I'm gonna go to my place and look in
I
the mirror
got
and
Whitehead
jerk off.
finishes his paint. His eyes get real big, and then he howls, "LOL, WTF."
What the fuck?
Fat stuff is at his trailer.
tractor.
Sorry. He's surprised. It's like a pigsty in there.
Oh, surprise.
He's watching TV.
Loco.
Mocking the black and white program that everybody's watching.
Which was awesome.
Yes.
Because it made it look like it was
The only channel,
thing
yeah.
on TV. That was really cool.
And then all of a sudden,
Oh,
3 snipe arrows
Death
just
by
shooting
arrow.
the fat
So awesome.
stuff.
oh,
Killing
I love
his
that fucking
ass.
part. I remember when I was little watching this movie. I'm like, this one wasn't scary. It was awesome. What an awesome revenge tale! Like,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
But then I like the fact that they cut right over to Rich Boy's house, because then we go from fat stuff's nasty, gross
Yuck.
trailer to Rich Boy's really nice house,
Yeah.
because obviously
Yeah.
he's rich.
I don't know if you know this, but in the IMDb credits, Rich Boy's dad is credited in that movie.
Does he have a
He's
speech?
just
He says
fucking
something, right?
No, he's just sitting there. You just see the back of
Interesting.
his head, doesn't say a word.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, if he calls in, maybe we can ask him about
Yeah.
that. Hey, is your dad real?
Yes, we got an email right before the show from the guy who plays Rich Boy, and I emailed him last week, and he just responded before we press record. So hopefully we can get that in before this goes.
If
up.
not, edit that shit in.
Exactly. He's sneaking out towards the garage where it's connected to the house. He goes in, and his Firebird is all fucked up, bro.
Oh yeah.
There's just hatchet
Destroyed.
marks, and I wish they would have just focused on that Firebird being all fucked up for a minute. Because when he opened the door, I was like, I don't even really like classic cars, but I was like, damn,
Yeah.
I would be fucking pissed.
This is another
Maybe
awesome.
like Cameron Fry's dad.
Oh my god.
my dad. I go into the
He
shock.
doesn't. He just rubs it with a diaper.
The
Then we see a cool shot. I thought it was a cool shot when I was younger, and it was still kind of cool, but like kind of cheesy.
it was
The
but
silhouette
I
of
yes.
Woodenhead
Yeah.
The hatchet.
raising the hatchet,
Skit.
and then just blood splattering
Splatters.
against the white
I don't know
wall.
what it is about blood spatter, but it
When done
mesmerizes me. I'm
effectively,
like,
yes.
I'm like, whoa. I love blood spatter.
So many classic scenes in movies.
Yeah.
The top two that ring out to me would be like
Psycho.
Full Metal Jacket,
Psycho
American Beauty.
and Point Break. Meat Explosion.
Have you rewatched that recently?
No,
Point Break.
but I know what Anthony Kiedis' only line is.
You bastard! That would be a waste of time if I freaked out right now.
I actually left a review. I left a review on
You bastard.
the Dinner in Hell podcast
bitch.
as Johnny OSU Forever, and they thought I was a real person. I don't think they did their research on Point Break.
Oh, I
either,
thought
but-
we weren't gonna. I thought we were gonna keep that going.
Oh no, that's fine.
Oh damn. I
So
love
then we
it.
cut over to Sam, who's a fucking creep. I forget what he was doing because I didn't note it, but was he brushing his hair?
Brushing his
or-
hair.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like he was jerking off while his ponytail was suffocating.
I just
him or
want to
something.
point out this
Like-
is the 4th masturbation joke
Oh really?
today. Yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
it's on our minds.
I'm going for 12.
We're actually circle
me.
jerking around the vinyl of
No.
Creep Show 2.
I'm going for what you said. How many has it been so far?
4.
4.
You wanna do 8?
4. No, 4 each segment. 12.
Okay, sounds good. I can do it too.
Sam's a fucking creep. Then Woodenhead just pops up in the house, and
Boy, does he move quickly.
And first of all, this dude's not scared. He's like, "Hey, you're not real.
Yeah.
Get away from me."
He shoot you with my shotgun.
I would have been like, "Ah! Like what
Right.
the fuck?"
if I see a wooden Indian walking towards
Yeah.
me,
But then again, he moves at 0.25 miles per hour. I probably could have just walked away from him.
Yes.
At normal speed and been gaining.
He goes in the bathroom.
So he shoots him multiple times. He gets cornered in the bathroom. That's when we see Woodenhead's fucking hand bust through the wall.
Oh, it's so
and
awesome.
we see him grab his hair. He raises the knife towards his Sam's head, and then the camera cuts away.
Wipes down as it's cutting away.
I kind of wish he would have just cut off his head.
I love at the end where he's fucking holding it, it's bleeding.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man, that's so good.
Camera cuts away, and then we see Ben walking up to this, or Ben waking up, Benjamin White Moon waking up with the treasures.
His uncle, the good one.
Yeah, laid in his bed.
So obviously he made a trip. The old Chief Woodhead made a special trip.
Goes straight.
Took the family heirlooms and left them in Sam's.
Here you go, Benjamin. Thank you.
Yep.
So
Benjamin's
goes
wearing a
straight to the
onesie,
store.
right?
Yeah, I think so.
Which one's Benjamin again?
The uncle.
The old man.
Oh, okay.
So
Did that
onesie have the little poop chute in the back?
It had to.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about, right, Zach? Where you had the
chute?
the little flap
Yeah,
in case you take a shit.
The butt flap.
Or masturbate. 5. So he goes straight to the general store.
I wear this backwards to masturbate. 6.
Jesus Christ. He goes to the store and he finds Woodenhead posed outside holding Sam's bloody scalp.
Which is still dripping. It's great.
Still dripping. It's
great.
wet and it's in his wooden grip.
And
which
Benjamin's
is cool.
like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
well,
really is. He doesn't give a shit
Cool.
about his nephew.
Yeah.
You got to do some real shit, man.
Yeah,
he knew
he's
he had
like-
to do it. He says, "May your spirit rest, old one."
Go na hanawea. What does he say?
Wow. I think that's what he said.
There's
I don't know.
no fucking way. I just made that up.
Really? That was pretty close.
Quaki Serpi Niku.
Okay.
All right, that sounded like Avatar. The first time you were really Native American, that was Avatar. Which I couldn't imagine getting scalped. That's got to be terrible.
Sounds awful.
Oh, well, don't we have some information about scalping?
Well, yeah, I told you guys about that Dinner in Hell podcast
Yeah.
and how much I like it. It's a really, really good show. Dinner in Hell podcast. You can find it on SoundCloud, iTunes, multiple other platforms. It's Brad the Impaler and Ron Maiden. We love those guys. Let's take it to them and find out a little bit more about Indian scalping.
Oh, very nice.
Thanks, Rich, Matt, and Zach. I'm Brad the Impaler,
This is Ron Maiden.
and we're the Dinner in Hell podcast, where we talk about the atrocious underbelly of history. Creep Show 2, huh?
I love that movie.
What a great movie. I love it too.
They want to know more insight on the scalping method of Chief Wooden Peter. What's his name?
Chief Woodenhead.
Chief
Right?
Woodenhead.
Yeah, Chief
Close.
Woodenhead scalps a couple people in this flick.
Yes.
And for some historical context, scalping, though it also occurred at times in Europe, Asia, and Africa independently, it is most famously the forte of Native Americans
Hell
like
yeah.
Chief Woodenhead.
North America, baby.
Now, how is scalping done, you may ask? Well, once you have an adversary subdued, simply grasp them firmly by the hair, make several semicircular cuts, generally with a stone knife, and just yank on that hair until the scalp separates at, about the 4th or 5th layer of skin underneath.
Maybe Video Rewind will do a Inglorious Bastards episode and they'll just bring up that scene where
Maybe.
they're peeling the scalp off, Brad, in the woods.
Yeah, pretty dope stuff.
It's pretty awful.
That's how it went down, though. You got yourself a war trophy, which is what they were for.
And being scalped usually meant death. But
Usually did.
there's one tale of a 13-year-old boy traveling with a group caravan. They were ambushed by Brule Sioux Indians.
Mm-hmm.
This 13-year-old young man, Robert McGee,
Oh, yeah.
he was shot with 2 arrows, 1 bullet by Chief Little Turtle himself before Chief Little Turtle hopped off his horse, walked on over to Robert McGee and took his scalp. 13-year-old scalp. Well, guess what? Robert McGee survived and he lived on to be the age of 49.
There's a real messed up looking picture of it, too, if you want to go find it. But that's it. Now back to your regularly scheduled video store rewind.
And we're back.
Thank you guys so much
Thank
for
you
explaining
so
it. That's
much.
great.
Awesome.
And how funny are they, too?
They're
I love
great.
those guys.
They're great. Like I said, I really enjoy it. That's all I listen to on the way to work.
I listen to it all day at work.
It's so good.
Go ahead. Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to go back to the movie.
Go back. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know why I wrote this. Maybe you can jog my memory. I wrote, that was quite a price for young Sam Whitemoon to pay. Was that part of them? That was who says that?
The creep. Yeah.
But wasn't there? Isn't there supposed to be a pun? Or am I missing something?
He does say something along the lines. I didn't write
that down then. Sorry. Never mind.
No, there's a pun in there.
I
somewhere.
think we all missed something there. That I think the pun is there. We just don't know.
The price. Well, it's about paying back people in the movie, in the short movie.
Yeah. Well, and then we see that the animation sequence where Billy is at the post office picking up the package of Venus flytrap bulbs that he ordered from the back of the comic book.
That old guy's like, they're probably just petunias.
He makes a growling noise. I'm like, they don't growl. Well, you'll find out later. But
Right?
Zach, have you ever been inside of a cartoon?
When animated
yes.
animated Rosie O'Donnell shows up.
That's when the creep introduces the next segment, which is the raft. And then,
oh, damn it. Sorry.
what?
I was going to introduce it as, next movie was the rape.
Yes.
Sorry, I mean the raft.
The floating rape. I mean the raft. So then, is that the car that's driving? Is that the Firebird?
That's a Firebird.
Is that the Firebird?
That's a yellow. No, Witch Boy had a black one.
Oh, was it a black
This
one?
was a yellow one.
So then we see a Firebird cutting through these valley hills of what I would
Because
assume
you
is
know
California.
Stephen King, he wanted those cars in there because he's a car guy.
Oh yeah.
You know, he didn't want no cheap fucking.
You ain't gonna
bullshit.
you ain't gonna be doing
why
this
he
in
made
no
the movies
Grand Prix.
Maximum Christine.
Yeah, that was a Plymouth Fury, wasn't it?
Think
Then
so?
Yeah.
we get the opening line. I feel the need for weed.
I thought he was gonna say, "Well, yeah, Need for Speed."
The need
Because,
for weed.
yeah, it's a very very cliche like weed smoking scene. Like, pass me the joint.
Yeah, you got to
Did
get
anybody
higher
know-
than we already are.
Did anybody note an exact line from our last episode, which was Return to Oz?
No, what?
It's almost Halloween. She says, it's almost Halloween, Randy. And
Oh, that's right. They set up for how cold the lake is, right?
Yes, and then in Return to Oz, when they hand the pumpkin, she's like, it's almost Halloween. What are you doing locked up in here? I was like, that's fucking bizarre. It's almost Halloween, Randy.
You know, every time I pick a movie, I plan it out that way.
So
Yeah.
did
No.
in all of the talk and all of the chatter that's going on inside of this Firebird, did we find out why the fuck they're going swimming in October?
No, but I did write. There's some weird football banter.
Yeah.
Going back and forth.
Yeah, and he's wearing a Chargers shirt. I don't know.
It was weird.
Rachel is one of the chicks that's in the back seat with Randy. She's real quiet, and she looks like she's admiring. What's her name? I have her name. I just can't find it, but she's admiring the two people on the front. Like, Rachel seems like the quiet chick. They pull up to the lake. It's an absolutely beautiful location, and because it's October, it's empty and quiet. So obviously, no one's there. And then we see the raft that they're talking about, which I would call the dock, I don't know, floating in the middle of the lake. So they all run towards it because, I mean, what better thing to fucking do in October is to strip down to your skivvies when the water's 45 degrees.
That girl jumped in wearing a sweatshirt. Did anyone notice that?
Yeah. She went in fully clothed.
I noticed that too. I'm like,
That was weird.
I'm still thinking like it's 45 degree. He said
When he gets in the water,
is 50 degrees, man.
Yeah, when he gets into
Yeah.
the water, the water was that cold, wasn't it?
Like,
yeah, because apparently the what's his name, the actor
You
that
said he got hypothermia.
yeah,
right?
or almost did or something, but they took him to the hospital and he was fine. They made him finish the shooting.
They're like, yeah, he's lying. It's
Yeah.
it's not that cold.
well, because I'm so good, with my research for this podcast, I didn't do any. But I do remember from reading about it previously, just on the internet, one boring night, reading about it. This was a really hard for the director and for all the people to get the actual blob right.
The
And-
black garbage bag.
Yes. So I think the director was fired and rehired in the process
Oh,
of
no
filming this
shit.
segment. And
It looks
was a
different
garbage.
in different scenes too.
Yeah, it does.
It was a garbage bag, by the way. It was a garbage bag with a bunch of other stuff, but it was
Just
a garbage
slime
bag.
on top.
But as they're swimming out in this cold ass lake, Randy sees what I would describe as an oil slick before they describe it as an oil slick.
My next note is poor fucking duck.
Eating a duck, yeah, and it starts heading towards the swimmers that are heading towards the raft, like immediately after it eats the duck.
Oh yeah. They jump in the lake and they're swimming out to this raft.
What's that? The guy driving? What's his name?
Deke.
Deke. Did you hear his quote? He says, "I don't believe in oil slicks," and I was like, "What?
He's high as fuck. Zach.
I don't believe in them." It's like saying I don't believe in
McDonald's.
Yeah, it's like it's oil that rests on top of the water. What's not to believe? I don't know.
I think it's because he's so high, and he's like, ask Poncho here. He's pre-med.
It's not like a UFO or like an alien and something. It's not. I don't believe in that. It's like no, it's just a thing. It's like I don't believe in apples.
He's higher than fuck.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
An oil slick is pretty. It's pretty real life, bro. Yeah. It's like climate change, but I mean, people don't believe that still. So.
Right. Though they make it out. They make it out.
Sorry,
to the
guys.
We get real political here.
Sorry.
All of them make it out to the raft, and the I guess I don't want to say the slut, but you know, like the slutty
Laverne.
one. Laverne, the slutty one, is like, I can't swim fast anymore, and they're like, hurry up, and then
she's pulled up in the nick of time.
the nick of time because it's moving toward him.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And then they're talking about the oil slick, and he says, "Have you ever seen a perfectly round oil slick?" Randy says.
There's a lot of lines that I like in this part. Yeah,
and then
there's
he,
a lot of.
He looks back at the Firebird that's the doors open playing music, and he's like,
he addresses it.
He says, "No one knows we're here. No one at all."
The only person in a horror movie to finally address it. Oh my God.
We snuck
To say
away.
no one knows we're here.
Nobody knows we're here.
No
I'm like,
one at all.
He said it.
That's when Randy's visibly upset, and
So the blob got all excited.
yeah, Randy is visibly upset. They're all smoking. They're already high, but
He's
they're all
got
smoking
so much
still.
weed. He's got when they get onto the raft. Remember, it falls out, and he pulls out. He just keeps pulling out joints.
Yeah, he's got that.
It's like a pack of cigarettes.
He's
but
got that pill. It's a pill
It's
bottle.
a pill
I saw
bottle
in his hand.
full
When
of
And he puts
fucking
it in his
joints.
little tiny Speedo.
Man, those little speedos.
He was like Hulk Hogan with a shaved face. Like that's what it looked like.
So Rachel, that's Randy's girlfriend. She gets down on her hands and knees, and she's
Before
looking
that, hold on.
hypnotically.
I really hate interrupting you.
No,
I
it's
do,
fine.
but I'm not following along on my notes well, so I apologize.
That's fine.
But
if you guys want to interrupt at any time, I'm just trying to keep it moving.
one of the
story.
cool lines that I like,
like Zach, I feel
where
like
they
he's got
said
like
it
40 notes, and he's just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna let him
No,
keep
it's
going."
fine.
when they say it looks like it's an accident, he goes, "No, I've seen accidents. This looks like it's on purpose." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I
like-
love it."
Wait, so
Love
the
it.
girl's already died. He's already taken her down, right?
No, not
No,
yet.
no.
She's-
This is-
okay.
she's about to
Because
die.
Gotcha.
Rachel gets down on her hands and knees, and she's looking at
okay.
it hypnotically. Like, doesn't
Right.
she? Did
Almost
you get that
laughing.
vibe?
She's
almost
like
laughing, like-
hypnotized by
But
it.
like, ooh, and she wants to touch it, so she reaches out to touch it, and it immediately
Great
fucking
idea.
slips onto her arm.
And then she
and
dies.
melts and
Yeah.
well,
Oh, yeah.
She
explain-
slowly
explain
raises
that.
out of the goo, and she
The
says,
goo's made out of alien blood, like from Aliens. Starts to
Yes.
disintegrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it gets on her arm, it just immediately starts like melting.
she
the
like
flesh
rises
off
out
her
of the
skin.
water all in the goo, all slow, and she's like, "Help! It hurts."
Deke's like, "No, we can't save her. She's fucking dead."
Yes.
He was really quick to dismiss all that shit.
Yes, he was.
So death. We're following a planogram here because Randy sees her die and he vomits, just like Fatso did in Chief Woodenhead segment.
Oh, and you can almost see a mouth on it.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
see it poke out like a beak.
A little bit.
It's kind of like a big old beak. With a big
I
old
wrote down,
beak.
they seem to be taking the death of their friend very casually.
Well,
We do have to
he's-
remind everybody
he
they are
screams out.
15-minute episodes, so they
He
need to
screams-
dismiss their feelings very
Deke,
fast.
the leader douchebag,
They can't take a
screams
few
out.
weeks to mourn.
He screams out, "It ain't Rachel!" And Laverne is freaking out, which is Deke's girlfriend, and he says,
I'm gonna.
"Stop it, Laverne! I swear to God, I'll smoke you!" And he like raises his.
Why is he so mad at her?
He turned from like just kind of casually douchey guy to extremely, I hate this guy.
I put.
Right.
Real
I put
quick.
in quotes. I'm gonna punch you if you don't stop crying about your dead friend.
They also, I hate how he keeps asking, what's the other friend's name? There's Deke and who?
Randy.
Randy keeps asking Randy, like, what is that thing? He asks him like 10 times. He's like, he doesn't fucking know.
I don't
He has just
know.
as much information as you do.
It's because he's high as shit.
And
Yeah, I
Randy,
guess so.
Randy,
All right.
Randy is
every
the
problem
smart
I
one.
have, you're just like, Zach, you're high. Okay.
They explain that Randy's a smart one, so he keeps going for that one. But yeah, so
Randy also points out, I'm pre-med, I know.
Yes.
Nobody cares, Randall.
okay, Randolph, go fuck yourself. Deke asks Randy if he can outswim it, and I've noted that this segment has progressed rather quickly, and Deke has turned into a total dick quick because he's like
scared as fuck.
went from
And he's high as fuck.
yes, he went from douche to like threatening to beat his fucking girlfriend after they witnessed their friend dying, like rather pretty quick.
I almost want to say they're a bunch of swingers.
Oh, I wouldn't be. Yeah. What's going on in the raft? They're swimming in October, so like they're
Ask
going out there
Randy the raper.
to fuck each other.
Raper Randy.
Deke is about to make a swim for it, and
Oh, this is...
Then it oozes in between the planks of the raft.
The effects are so awesome.
And it violently sucks him under.
Right.
Zach, thoughts on that at all?
I thought it was kind of funny how it pulls him in through the raft like Belch pulls in through the tube, and
with the leg fold.
It folds him like a chair in half.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: when it goes through, once it starts grabbing his foot, it goes through his skin. It goes like in the fleshy part in between your heel and the ball of your foot.
Yeah,
it goes through that. So you can
I didn't even notice.
Oh yeah, and it just grabs onto his calf muscle, and it immediately starts melting.
His fingers are going through the
that
planks
was
of the
awesome
board.
too.
Yeah, and the class ring gets stuck, which I didn't get a chance to read.
He's trying to stay on the raft, and so he's got his hands on it.
The
when
blob
he's
killed him because he wears a class ring.
Exactly.
I love that part though when he slides.
Laverne and Randy then figure that out, so they stand on the boards to avoid exposing themselves on the cracks in between. So he's calming her down, staying on the boards, and then nightfall comes.
Well, Randy, what are we gonna do? Shut up. We'll just wait until the morning so I can rape you.
We'll just take a nap.
So they're taking turns watching and
I'm terrified. Let's go to sleep.
One's on lookout, one's resting through nightfall, and then it's really cold. So they wake up in the morning embraced, sitting down on the dock. So that's when Randy does what I would do. I mean, what anybody I've ever known in my entire life
totally took advantage of the chick that was
He
sleeping.
Lays Laverne down after witnessing two of his best friends get murdered and his girlfriend. He lays her down. He starts
12
kissing her on
hours.
the forehead,
12
and
hours
decides,
after.
This is a good time to fondle her unconscious body. Zach, thoughts?
He's
First
like
time watching.
Well, it's super rapey and uncomfortable.
It is super rapey.
I would watch this as a kid. And
Who's even in the mood for that? Aren't they supposed to be scared? Their friends just died.
Even as a kid, that's a very Stephen King thing to do, though.
What?
Like in moments of terror,
all these deaths make me horny?
No.
He does it a lot.
I think they're making Randy like another predator, other than an actual supernatural force or something. Because there's always a bully.
Oh, I wanted him to die so hard.
I have a note about that.
Same thing in The Mist. In The Mist, the main character is madly in love with his wife. But like on day 4 of them being trapped in the supermarket, he's like, I want to fuck this other chick I just met in the supermarket so bad. And I'm like, that's so weird to me, but
let's get on to the rape scene because I'm getting hard.
As Randy is raping her, the ooze, not Randy's ooze, comes from between the crack and eats her face.
You forgot to point out we see boobs.
Oh yeah,
everybody. He's
boobs. About to suckle her boobs, raping her.
It's not. He had pretty amazing self-control because it looked like he was going for it, but then you see like the shadow come in. He's just between.
Laverne catches the most vicious money shot in the history of film, and it melts her fucking face off.
Why did you introduce it like that? Money
just
shot.
Fucking melts her face off,
Randy,
and she's dragged off the raft.
Randy, and she turns and it's a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare.
Randy decides, I'm making a swim for it.
Listen, everybody, her face is fucking melted and bloody and ugh.
So Randy makes a swim for it, and we see that the ooze is behind him. It's closing in fast.
I did say that Randy probably wanted to rape her because he probably woke up with Morningwood.
Oh, I'm sure Morningwood, Chief Morningwood.
That's what they were laying on. No, stupid. Put in some sound effects.
That sounds like nothing to me. Did you guys ever watch Westworld?
No,
I haven't.
Okay. Just the movie.
So Randy makes it to shore and he proclaims, he says, I beat you. He's exhausted. I beat you. And the ooze jumps out of the water like a fucking...
I love that part.
Did you really?
I did. It was awesome because I didn't expect it. And he died and I hated him, so good.
Oh, good. Swimming?
Okay.
I put no. Fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Kill him.
Kill him. Kill him. Yeah, you fucking killed him.
I think that's why they had to throw the rapes.
All of a sudden it moved really quick because the blob before moved very slow because I thought, why don't they just... Because at some point it was kind of far away, like, why don't they all just jump in and swim for it? Because it moves really slow.
Well, the blob doesn't tolerate rape.
So as the blob...
Good for the blob.
Yeah.
No blob.
As the blob's moving away, it's like... It burps.
It burps.
And then it cuts back, and we see some overgrowth of vegetation in the area, and there's a sign that says, what, fellas?
No swimming.
No
swimming.
swimming.
Because somebody knows there's a fucking oil.
It's a nice touch.
Slick.
And then we open
good thing
back.
It's obscured, too.
Yeah.
No one can see it.
We open back to an animated Billy riding his bike, and that's when he's ambushed by what Matt described as Rosie O'Donnell and the bullies.
It's actually an animated... It's a mix between animated Rosie O'Donnell and Ursula.
Oh,
does
yeah.
look
but it's a boy.
So did anyone think this animation was very bad?
It was, because the facial features like move a lot.
They move
when I was younger,
they move so weird.
When I was younger, I loved it.
Mouth.
But as I got old, as I watched it as an adult, I'm
really
like,
terrible.
Yeah, it's a cool sequence, but Zach's right. The animation is just fucking shitty.
It's like worse than like an old He-Man episode.
There was a pretty awesome.
Whoa,
yeah, he's right. Old He-Man.
Well, He-Man, they just don't look. I mean, a lot of '80s cartoons they're not made very well.
I think we should go.
Like even like
you see a Geico commercial?
No,
it's a He-Man Geico commercial with Skeletor and everybody.
Actually, I think Pat might have told me about it.
It's pretty good.
Oh, and we have for the third time we have the return of the fingerless weightlifting gloves that Rosie O'Donnell is wearing.
Well, I mean, obviously this
a 1980s bully staple,
right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. BS.
There's a really funny line because the kid has the package of his fly traps,
right.
And the main antagonist on his bike, he's like, "What are you growing pansies like yourself?" I was like, "Oh,
nice sick burn, bro.
Sick burn." Then we, what does it say? The creep says,
I wrote it down.
Yeah, thank you. I love his voice. His voice is really cool. It's super deep and dark.
I didn't write the quote, but it's just like that was a slick ending.
An oil slick.
Neat. What did I say? Blood comes out of the water and swallows them. Pretty awesome. Blah blah blah. Oh yeah. So the bully. Did we get to the Billy? That's the name of the kid, right? Billy.
Yeah, we're talking about that with the Rosie O'Donnell.
Has Billy kicked the bully in the balls yet? There's a lot of alliteration in this one.
I think so.
He kicks him in the balls, and the bully exclaims. He goes, "I want his ass." I'm like, shit, you didn't run that through your head before you said it, did you?
Did you notice the fucking nerd on the bad guy side?
No.
Oh yeah, I did with the glasses.
Why the fuck is the nerd
with the
picking on
glasses?
that guy?
I don't like you. Shut
a
your
hanger
nerd ass up.
What?
4 eyes.
Yeah, it's God. That pissed me off. Why is the fucking nerd picking on someone?
Because, they were probably picking on him, and then he
know.
found opportunity to join that group. So then we see the creeper introduce the hitchhiker, which is our next and final segment.
This is the one that scared the living shit out of me when I was little.
Yeah, it's a lot gorier than I remember.
He's pretty fucking bloody.
It opens up to a man and woman in bed,
mutilated,
an alarm clock flashing 12, which we all know means that your alarm clock has been unplugged or out of power or whatever. Alarm clock failure, and it shows us that she's cheating on her husband with this man who's an escort. She throws him some cash. He asks for more. She says no.
I didn't realize who they were at first, like what the relationship was. It took me a minute.
She's a cheap bitch. She's laughing about him asking for more, and he says, "I counted 6 orgasms." And she's like, "Oh, you charge by the orgasm now?" He's like, "I should.
Yeah.
I'd have something to work for."
Oh yeah, it's funny.
Gross.
The headboard has Stephen King's It.
I saw it, and so it only showed it for a second. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if they noticed it. But there were about 4 more shots where it's like right in plain view.
Right there.
They weren't even trying to be obscure about it.
Oh, they're selling fucking books, buddy.
Yeah.
So she goes outside. She hops in her Benzo, her Mercedes Benz, and she comments on the distance she has to travel and the amount of time. She says 20 miles in 7 minutes.
I never knew that guy was a gigolo when I was little. I had no idea what was going on.
I had no idea myself.
I thought that was her husband.
Well, there's always a gigolo in a children's film. I mean, I guess it's not a children's film, but
so this is when the weird dialogue that me and you were talking about before Matt got here.
Dialogue.
What? Never mind.
Like how she's just talking to herself.
Talking to herself.
She's going over the possible stories to tell her husband because she knows that her husband is like clockwork. He's going to be on time. She's going to be late. And she's going to have to explain herself.
Yeah, I'm out with Darren.
I always
and
thought
Sandy.
that was weird. And this is Zach's first time watching it. I was wondering.
It was a little weird, but otherwise we wouldn't know what she's thinking unless it did voiceover.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, no, but they also set the what is it pretense that she is crazy, like she's psychologically wrong.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
She's talking.
That
to
makes
herself.
sense.
So she's driving.
Is that the right word? Did I say Is it pretense?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
It might not have been, but no one would have noticed had we not double checked on it. So we'll find out, I guess.
You may
all of our thousands of listeners.
You may or may not hear me say that word tomorrow.
So she's driving. She's trying to get home quick. She drops her cigarette, spins out of control, and then we see a hitchhiker. Boom! She plows through him. She stops. She looks.
Yellow rain slicker.
Oh yeah, with the sign that says Dover.
Second, and she.
So this guy's trying to get Dover. She looks at his body. She flees the scene.
Motherfucker's dead.
A man who is her husband, right? That's her husband, is it not?
The one that
finds the body, like
was
right
her
behind
husband?
her. I think.
I don't
How do
think
we
it
know?
was.
No, I don't know. Okay, man finds the dead hitchhiker like right after.
Stephen King pulls up in his
Yeah.
semi
He's a trucker, and he's like,
Please let me say it.
"Go ahead, please."
What's that? Some kind of black guy?
Oh, he said, looks like a black guy,
Looks
eh?
like a black.
Oh, I thought it was what is that? Some kind of black guy?
I wrote, looks like a black guy, eh? I could be wrong.
Actually, it's the only kind of black guy.
Yeah.
So she's driving away, and she asks herself, "Can you live with this?" And then she explains to herself, "It was an accident. Why should I fuck up my life?"
She's going. Yeah, she's definitely going through
Before
the
that,
motions.
someone says, "What happened?" And Stephen King's like, "What do you think happened? Guy got creamed. Happens all the time."
Was this before or after he got hit?
That was after the guy.
That was after. That was
No, Stephen King, IRL.
Oh, probably.
no. Stephen King pulls up after.
Probably
No.
after IRL.
Oh no!
Yeah.
This is before, right?
Is it? Because I thought that was like kind of a nod from Stephen
Does
King,
he
like,
get,
"Yeah, I got
does
hit by
he
a
get
car."
hit in the 80s? Oh, you're right. Maybe that's
Well,
why
because he
says
wrote
happens
he
all
wrote
the
it into
time.
Misery too. So
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
she's driving, and then she sees the hitchhiker bloody, like limping, running after
She
her.
stops.
on
Yeah,
foot.
she pulls off on the side of the road to think about it, right? And then she looks in the mirror.
Yep, and then
Oh,
looks again. He's
so
there.
scary,
then looks
dude.
away. Looks again. He's gone. And then he hops up in the driver's side. And he's like, "How you doing, lady? Thanks for the ride."
Oh,
and then
so scary.
he's on top of the car,
Right.
pawing through the sunroof.
Thanks for the ride, lady.
That's yeah.
Giving you a ride yet? How are you asking me?
So she's driving like a bat out of hell into the woods. I just
She
want to
closes
know.
the sunroof on him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we all notice that this Mercedes-Benz is the most amazing off-road vehicle of all time?
Yeah. I wrote. She thinks it's a good idea to drive through the woods for some reason.
She's fucking hitting jumps, bro.
Yeah.
Like plowing over
Got like
stumps.
all-terrain tires.
This hitchhiker is relentlessly coming after her, but we don't know if he means harm because all he keeps saying is "Thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride."
So there's a
lady."
low-hanging tree.
What if she
that's
just said,
fallen
"Okay,
over.
you're welcome"? Would it end?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Who knows?
So she
I
goes
don't
under
know.
this tree trunk. It smacks him off, and he's still there.
Yeah.
That's when she remembers, which
she
I would have
stops
remembered
again.
awfully
She grabs
quickly.
the gun.
Yes, I remember I have a gun. So she grabs the gun.
He shows up again. Is this the third time he shows up now?
Yes. Each time we see him, though, he's progressively
More mutilated.
Because she's
bloodier
fucking him
and-
up.
Yes.
Right.
She
yes.
keeps fucking
But,
him
like,
up more and more and
But
more.
they pay attention to detail in the makeup because he's gorier. It gets gorier and gorier.
It's blood,
Right.
dude. He's real bloody. He's
Yes.
real
She
bloody.
shoots him, but he won't die.
Multiple.
And then she runs him over with the car and says, "I got you. I got you."
Hey, motherfucker, looks like he's Lin Cheat, huh?
Yeah. And then she drives off again.
This bitch
And
is
of course-
insane.
Yeah, she shows up. He shows up again.
With a sign that says, "You killed me."
Hello.
Oh God!
Just in case you weren't sure,
I know what
bitch,
you did
killed
10
me.
minutes ago.
when I saw this when I was a kid,
Still love the movie.
this one scared the shit out of me.
yeah.
So
Yep.
she-
Anytime I saw somebody in a yellow rain slicker with a hat on, I'm like, "Fuck, we
Fuck
gotta
that
go."
guy.
Mom,
Didn't they kind of steal that from I Know What You Did Last Summer? Rain Slicker.
the other way around?
You killed me.
The other way around?
What do you mean?
I think I know what you did last
it
summer.
was like
stole it from them.
1998.
Well, that's what I meant.
Oh yeah.
Did I say the- okay.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I meant.
Oh, for sure.
So
And it's in
Yeah.
Maine, isn't it?
But
A
this
fishing
one-
town?
Yeah. I think so.
Whoa.
That's why I said this one should be called
bro.
I know what you did 10 minutes ago. Yeah.
guys, hey, seriously, give me 5. I'm gonna get Freddie Prinze on the phone and find out.
Seriously?
Oh, sorry, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Little Freddy?
No, Julie, don't go in there.
That sounds like Terry.
Broskies?
Broski.
She drives through the
Now
woods.
everyone's got to watch Just One of the Guys
We're not caught up with masturbating jokes either.
7 times.
She drives through the woods again. She pins this guy to a tree.
Yeah.
A bunch of
Reverses and
times.
hits him multiple times. God damn, I know.
Ending it, right? He's dead now for sure.
Yes,
gotta
he's
be.
dead for sure.
But
He's
the
one with
question
the
I
bark.
have, the biggest question of all, is how the fuck is this car still running? Because it is
Yeah.
fucked.
Well,
You know why?
It's-
It's still running because
it's
there's
built-
in the credits it says Mercedes mechanic. They credit a Mercedes mechanic in it.
Do they?
Yeah, because it took a beating.
Yeah.
He probably
That's some German engineering right
they
there.
needed
brother.
him on call probably. I mean, for the whole shoot because they had to repair it
They
after
did
every
fuck
scene.
that car up.
Yeah.
She passes out. She wakes up again, finds no hitchhiker but pinned between
But
the car
it's
and the
snowing,
tree.
right?
It's snowing, yes. She convinces herself that it was a dream. And another note I have after that
She
car
convinces
note
us
was,
because she says it.
How the fuck is this car still running? Because she starts it up or it's still running and she drives off. It's like,
well, that was to the Mercedes mechanic.
So then we see her pull up into the house, into her garage with this bloody ass fucking car. It's just blood all over it, streaks, whatnot.
This is the music for it too.
Is it?
Is it?
And then what do we see?
Oh, he pops
underneath
up from
the car.
Underneath the car.
And
he starts
is
chewing on her shoulder.
He looks like a chewed up fruit roll up.
Yeah.
And his jaw is missing, his jawbone, and his tongue is just flopping.
That's
there.
right, the tongue.
Yeah.
It's one of the goriest things you can see.
It's very gory.
In 1987, for sure.
Now, what did the creep say? What was his pun? I think I wrote it down, but I wasn't sure if I wrote.
Well, go ahead.
Something like never pick up hitchhikers, but. Did he say like on the hood of... No, I think I wrote on the hood of your car.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, it is really dumb.
I think about this segment a lot because I go from Milan to Belleville for my deliveries for work, and I always have to pass that the prison.
I like this song a lot too.
I always have to pass the prison, and there's signs always. Please do not
up
prison
hitchhikers.
area. Do not pick up hitchhikers, and I always think of thanks for the ride, lady.
I wanted to talk about this episode specifically because she's found her husband finds her dead with the Dover sign around her. Now, they very much established that this hitchhiker is fucking dead because of the guy on the highway finds him, the truck driver finds him. This is a completely...
The body is there.
It's a completely separate shot, so she's not in it. So this guy's dead. He's probably in a coroner office somewhere. So this is where the psychological aspect comes in, where she is seeing this because not only she's obviously emotionally distressed, right? She's cheating on her husband. How am I going to get out of it? I just hit a fucking guy. What am I going to do? So she's freaking the fuck out. But she's found dead by her husband with a Dover sign on her. Explain that shit.
I
like
don't know.
Stephen King.
Extraterrestrials, man.
Stephen King.
It's the macroverse, bro.
Mattering's like, today you die.
I don't know what the fuck that was about.
Sorry, I had a bellyache.
Oh my god. Can you guys please explain this last animated sequence? Because you know what happened for me is my kid started crying and I had to go take care of him and I missed my note taking.
So I wrote Billy's being chased by the police. Why is he being chased by the police?
For kicking that fat Rosie O'Donnell in the balls.
Do kids call the cops on
I guess so. I remember them being chased by the police, and then they go to a fenced area that
No
says,
snitching.
"Keep up private property by order of Gornick Realty," in a really clever name insertion from the director.
Michael Gornick.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Listen, with that Rotten Tomato score and that budget and that box office draw, he probably is in real estate now.
The bullies confront him. The Venus flytraps come out. That's the big payoff.
Oh, penis flytrap 8.
The penis flytrap. The Venus flytraps eat the bullies. That's kind of pretty much the end of the movie. Well, then the creep shows up, and then he throws the magazines out of the back of the truck, and he turns he was animated, then he turns real.
Does he again?
Yeah, and that's the end of the movie.
That was Creepshow too. Now I've seen it 1,000 times. I think because I had this on VHS. Like I rented it, and then for some reason I had it on VHS, so I watched it a lot when I was a kid. I know Matt rented it a bunch, and this is your first time watching. As it being your first time watching, can you tell me a little bit about what you feel about it?
I really didn't think it was all that good. I mean, it set out what it was trying to do. It's kind of campy and it's kind of silly, but I think it's supposed to be kind of silly.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And
too.
I think it's definitely geared towards like young teenage boys. So yeah, if you're a young teenage boy 25 years ago, then yeah, you'll probably really like this movie. I can't imagine like a 14-year-old guy like watching this now and like liking it, because there's nothing like, they don't want to go back in time because it looks too corny.
No,
there's no CGI.
This is easy for me to say and then ask you because we live in the age of the remake, which last time I checked, Flatliners had a 0% of Rotten Tomatoes.
What Flatliners?
No, I'm talking about the new Flatliners.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. All those stupid fucking fanboys that don't like remakes, they can fuck off.
The original has 49%. Why? Anyway, long story, but there's very little original content going around these days, and so I can't speak for 1987, but I thought all these stories were pretty original, at least. Yeah.
I mean, the Blob's kind of like the Blob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the original The Blob.
Old Chief Woodenhead was fucking original as fuck.
Yeah.
The Hitchhiker.
That had to have been a...
Wait, when was The Hitcher made?
70, wasn't it?
Look up. No, the one with
I thought it was in the 70s.
Shit, what's his name?
Is it the
From
premise?
Blade Runner?
Is it the premise? Though?
Here, I got it. Oh,
Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer. He's awesome. I love
Let's
Rutger
look at when
Hauer.
The Hitcher was made.
Is that the premise of The Hitcher, though? I don't think I've
Well,
ever
the
seen it.
Hitchhiker is it was made the year before, 1986.
okay.
He's a serial killer. I mean, he's not supernatural, but it's not that related.
So, Zach didn't really like it. I rewatching it.
it was.
I watched
it was fun.
I watched it
didn't hate
1,000 times as a kid, a couple times as an adult, paying lots of attention this time. I still like it, but I don't. I mean, I'm not like, oh my god, Creepshow 2 is awesome. But am I mad I bought the vinyl soundtrack or anything? No.
it's kinda
I still enjoy
It's
it.
better by itself.
I would still push it to somebody who was like, I want to watch something campy from the 80s, but like, I'm not gonna say like it's a cinematic masterpiece.
Yeah, if you're looking for something kind of cheesy, then yeah, I'd recommend it.
Matt, did it hold up for you?
Yeah, it still held up. I like it. I like it a lot. If you like gore, it's really good with gore. There's a lot of that's perfect. There's a lot of cool kills like in Old Chief Woodenhead.
Yeah.
Especially the arrow scene. It's just great. I would recommend it because God, I don't know. All the practical effects were just plentiful. It was awesome. It was such a fun movie. It's not very scary except for the fucking hitchhiker. Like Old Chief Woodenhead's not scary. The
Correct.
raft is not scary, but it's a little suspenseful.
Right.
But the fucking hitchhiker still gives me.
Hitchhiker is pretty scary.
It gives me like the oh god. But yeah, I'd recommend it. Still love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear some trivia.
I didn't have any trivia about the movie. I just had trivia about Native American symbolism.
Okay.
So you know who Iron Eyes Cody is?
No.
Okay, you know the commercials from the 70s?
The
for,
Crying
glittering?
Indian?
Yes.
Crying Indian?
Yes.
Not Native American. I just thought that was interesting.
Really?
He's Italian, actually.
Now-
but he would never admit it because it would take away from his image.
Is this like the Wayne's World 2 at the end where he
yeah.
Yes,
the
that's the parody.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed watching it again. I mean,
I enjoyed watching
my life
it
again, but I'm glad Zach got to watch it for the first time. And so
I like the
What's that? Some kind of black guy?
some
I
kind
like
of
the
black
idea
guy.
of the movie. I like the idea of like bringing back like classic like 50s horror comics and have it be little
Yeah.
vignettes. It's not a bad idea for a movie.
It's great.
Cool. Well, again, we're Video Store Rewind.
Yeah,
you
that's
can find
it.
us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Instagram.
Oh, let them know. Check Facebook.
MySpace. No, I'm kidding.
We're also on Friendster and are not.
Facebook. Guys, we
Not a
appreciate if
Face
you'd
the
hit up that
Face the
iTunes and subscribe, review, and rate. Thanks again to Dinner in Hell Podcast.
Yeah, thanks,
Brad
guys.
the Impaler and Ron Maiden. I'm just kidding. Ron motherfucking Maiden.
I loved that. Ron fucking
Again,
made it.
check them out on SoundCloud and iTunes and multiple other platforms as well.
Check our Facebook out. We'll have some more photos of probably just the vinyl record because it's super cool.
Yeah, we'll have photos of everything. We post stuff all the time. If you guys want to comment, you can email us at videostorerewind@gmail.com with suggestions for films or just comments on something that we've already done. We really appreciate that too. We like feedback.
We got to pick a winner.
Oh yeah, we have a contest. We'll pick a winner. We'll pick a winner.
supposed
We'll
to do
do
that
it
today.
Yeah, we'll do that. Next week, if you guys stay tuned, we're covering 1984's Night of the Comet. That's my pick,
I love
starring
it.
Kelly Maroney and
next one?
Catherine Mary
Night of the Comet?
Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's next. Yes.
Do we want to mention what we're gonna give away because we already know, but we don't have it yet?
No, because
That's
there's
gonna
gonna
be
be
another
other
one.
things.
That's
There's
gonna be another
okay.
one.
There, we've
Okay.
got a bunch of
Secret.
things too.
Yeah, that I want to say for a secret. That's fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
that's gonna be cool. So Night of the Comet next week. My pick. Zach's never seen it. Matt's not finished it yet. I guess it's not gonna change your life either. So I just want to let you know.
see.
That.
I am super fucking excited
Can
to
I
watch it.
I'm
can I
gonna
can I
watch it
jump
with
the
eyes
gun
wide
though
open.
because I was shocked. I've probably read this before, but I was shocked when I found out that its budget was $700,000.
Oh,
And
that's pretty modest.
It grossed
Yeah.
$14.4 million.
Wow.
Nice, good for them.
I couldn't believe it.
That's great.
Night of the Prophet.
Oh,
Am I right?
Jesus, right?
Rotten Tomatoes score.
Profit?
Rotten Tomatoes score 83%.
Hey, that's exciting.
It's really good.
It'll.
It
From what I watched, it's really
shocked
good.
me. You guys have a great day, a great week, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Video Store Rewind.